The gardens are beautiful. You cannot help but be drawn in by every aspect of the surroundings. It is by no means like the gallery space, with a backdrop that is white and bland. And that is an important distinction for Barbara Hepworth's family of man. When you ask most people what they think when you say the word gallery, most answers will be along the lines of white walls or bright lights. This is the idea of a gallery space being a white cube, where a uniform colour reflects and grants the viewer a sole focus on the artwork. This sculpture is very different in Roche Court than in a gallery space. When you look through the organic negative spaces of the sculpture, you see very different things. Here you see the features and landscape beyond, seeing the gardens and the flowers in full bloom. This sculpture is clearly designed to interact with this environment, and surely it's being utilised to the fullest here at Roche Court.
You're right. The metal seems both part of and separate from the landscape of Roche Court. Like, for instance, take the parent statue. On the inside, you can see the bronze's blue patina. Although this detail was added deliberately by Hepworth, rather than naturally occurring over time, it gives the sculptures a sense that they have grown up and aged with their environment. Hepworth also guides us as we walk through the sculptures to look through the negative spaces inside of them. Negative space was key to Hepworth. By piercing directly through the bronze sculptures, she emphasises a multifaceted way of seeing. For instance, take the child statue. Looking through the headspace of the child, we see the grass, we see the family, we see any visitors that happen to be passing by. With each new place the sculptures travel to, a new part is added to the story of Family of Man.
As said, Hepworth considers strongly how viewers move in and around the sculpture. It is an interaction that focuses on family and physical relationships, something that she wishes to portray in her sculptural work. The sculptures here at Roche Court are 3 individuals of the Family of Man collection. They represent the ancestor, the parent, and the child. Family is incredibly important to Hepworth. In life, she married twice, having triplets with her second husband. The raising of those children created an experience of a full house, so that by the time they were in creation in the late 1960s, Hepworth's understanding of family and relationships was developed and at the forefront of her mind. The fact these 3 sculptures were selected is particularly poignant, as they represent time, showing that as generations move on, there is a change. The very solid, permanent feeling of these sculptures perhaps reflects the impermanence of individuals, but the everlasting nature of relationships.
For all their grand size and dynamic detail, these sculptures are marked by just how temporary they are. Yes, they have the blue patinaing, but they're also made in bronze. Family of Man is telling the story of both living forever and decaying with time. This was one of the main reasons that Hepworth changed her materials. By the late 1960s, she had all but abandoned sculpting in wood in favour of bronze. Bronze had a malleability and textural aspect that her smooth wooden sculptures didn't have. A really good example of this is the ancestor sculpture. The ancestor sculpture is gashed with chisel marks, and this stands in sharp contrast with the smooth metal of the child. By convoluting her designs, Hepworth distinguishes the wise and worldly experience of the ancestor with the untarnished and simple world of the child. But this goes further. When you look closer, you can see that the bronze is uneven, it's puckered and it's scratched. This can be attributed to Hepworth's process of casting in bronze, where the rough surface of the mould transferred onto the bronze and wasn't polished down. From a distance, these sculptures may look smooth, but further investigation shows Hepworth's hand is obvious. Spatial experience was important to Hepworth, yes, but so was textual experience, and this makes for a memorable installation.
The sculptures are memorable, from our initial impressions to discovering the details of this timeless family's texture. It's a feeling of everlasting unity that gets us to think about Hepworth's intentions. She wants this piece to feel universal. When you look at the sculptures, it's instantly recognizable that they belong together. It's this sense of unity that makes this work particularly universal.
These sculptures do feel universal. They've grown up together even while their environment continues to age them. Even so, the hardy bronze means they will surely outlive me and Qabir. Hepworth's family of man is the story of the eternal family, where past, present and future exist simultaneously. Hepworth binds those of us living today with our late relatives and our ancestors who are yet to be born, and, if only for a fleeting moment, she makes all of our family histories exist together as one.